So today I want to talk about motivation. Now, motivation is a thing that everyone wants to find ways of on how to be more motivated. But the thing is, people think that motivation is just one thing. People think that motivation is simply just having the drive to achieve your goals, which is the correct definition. However, I feel like there's two types of motivation. There's one motivation where it's like you're you're driven towards achieving your goal. So, for example, as a footballer, it's literally just like, yo, I want to I want to become a professional footballer because it's been my dream since I was younger. I want to get the money. I want to play in the Premier League. I want to play against all my favorite players. I want to play for my boyhood club. Those are the motivations driving you towards your goal. However, there's a second type of motivation where it's like you're running away from something that you don't want to be. So, for example, this could be someone who wants to make it as a footballer who lives in a rough area. Let's say they live in a rough area and they see people around them that they don't want to be like. So now they have the motivation. Their motivation is different to the first type of motivation, but it's still good motivation at the same time. Their motivation now is like, I don't want to become like the people around me. I don't want to live in this area anymore. So it's sort of like the motivation of running away from something. So you got the motivation to run towards something, towards a goal, but you also have the motivation where you're running away from something. You don't want to be in your area anymore. You don't want to be surrounded by the people in your area. You see the people in your area, they're unhappy, they're miserable, they're this, they're that, they're struggling, mentally, emotionally, they're struggling financially, and you just don't want that for your future self. Obviously, this can apply not only to football, but in all areas of life. Whether you want to be a doctor, an actor, whatever you want to be, literally whatever you want to be, there's always two types of motivation. One type of motivation that's driving you towards the goals that you want, and then there's another one where you're literally running away from something behind you. You don't want to whether it's you don't want to be a particular sort of person or you don't want to stay in a particular sort of place. You understand? Now, obviously, having one of this is good. Having one of these motivating factors is a good thing. Obviously, having one can drive you to achieve your goals. Be disciplined. Do put in the work on the days where you don't really want to put in the work. However, in my opinion, when you have both of these, this is where you have extra motivation because if you only have one type of motivation, there might be days where that reason is just not driving you for some reason. Like it's not getting you out of bed in the morning. You're not excited for it. You're just like, oh, whatever. Let's say you're like I said, let's use the first example. Your goal is to literally be a professional footballer, and you say, oh, I want to do this because, like I said, playing football, my dream is to play football and get paid. I want to be the best footballer I can be. Some days though, you're just not motivated. Some days you're just like, oh, I can take a break though. It doesn't matter. All the professionals, they take a break, blah blah blah. But let's say on that same morning where you tell yourself you're gonna have a break, so you get up and let's say you go somewhere, you go for a walk, and then you look around at your area. You're in like a poverty-stricken area. You see people on the floor. Maybe you see a homeless guy on the floor. Maybe you see the local crackhead, something like that. And so when you see that, your mind is in gear. Now your mind is telling you, all right, cool, I need to go train because I need to get away from this. I need to run away from this. I can't be like these people. I can't be, struggling for the rest of my life. You understand? That's because, like I said, that person has both type of motivators. Literally the motivation to, achieve their goal of being a footballer, and then also the motivation of not wanting to be surrounded by the people they're surrounded by. The motivation of, wanting to take care of their family, get their family out of the area, move them to a nicer area. So, in my opinion, as a footballer, if you want maximum motivation, find those two types of motivations. Find the motivation first of all for your goals. What goals do you want to achieve? Why is the reason that you play football? You want to become a professional footballer. Think about those. Think about the goals that you're running towards, that you actually want to achieve, but then also think about the bad things that you're running away from. Because surely there's got to be something in everyone's life that they're just running away from. Maybe your parents are putting pressure on you to do a certain type of job. Maybe you want to be a footballer, but then parents are telling you, oh no, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer. Maybe you're running away from that. Maybe you're running away from, I don't know, just working a regular 9 to 5 job. Maybe you want more freedom. Obviously, being a footballer, you still have obligations. You still sort of have a quote unquote boss, but at least you're doing something you enjoy. Maybe you're just scared of doing a job that you hate for the rest of your life. That's what's driving you. That's what you're sort of running away from. So it's literally, like I said, to get maximum motivation as a footballer, to get up on those days where you just don't want to do it. Those are the main two. You have to find your two types of motivation: something you're running towards, something desirable that you're running towards, and then something terrible that you're running away from. So with me personally, I think my driving motivator to actually go and achieve my goals, to look forward and actually achieve my goals, me personally, I think it's just that I just want to become the best player I can possibly be. You know what I'm saying? Just see what, I think it's more of a curiosity. Just see how far I can take it. You understand? I just want to see how far I can really take it. You know, I believe in myself. I believe I'm a good player. So I just want to put in that work and just reach my full potential, you know, just sort of max out all my stats and just see, okay, cool. If I just max out all my stats, if I just put in that work, where am I gonna end up? Even if it's not the Prem, even if it's not championship level, let me just see, you know what I'm saying? I'm just curious. I just wanna see. So obviously I feel like that drives me, that's sort of um my driving force to go forward. However, the bad thing that I'm running away from is that, yo, and this doesn't just apply to football. This applies to just life in general. Is that I don't want to be. Anytime I picture myself on my deathbed, and I just think, oh, and I just picture, you know, like 100-year-old me on my deathbed, thinking, damn, like I wish I would have done more with my life. I regret not doing this. I regret not doing that. I regret not, you know, fulfilling my potential. When I picture that in my mind, I'm just like, nah, hell no. In the moments where I'm about to die and I just have bare regrets, I'm just thinking, nah, like this can't be me. So obviously, in my opinion, that just gets me out of the bed, out of bed every morning. Just knowing that, just having that picture of me just on my deathbed, just being old, washed up, and not being able to do anything as well. That's the crazy thing. Having regrets but not being able to, you know, correct those mistakes. It's just like, oh, and then you just look back on your life as an old man and you're just like, oh, it's done. Like there's nothing I can do about it, and you just pass over to the afterlife. It's just anytime I picture that, I'm just like, nah, this can't be. I can't go out like that. I can't go out with having just so many regrets. So I think for me personally, those are my two, especially when it comes to football. I feel like another reason as well. This is why it's easy for me personally to actually, you know, stick to my diet, because obviously I've said before that I used to be hella fat. So obviously my driving force, the desirable thing that I'm striving towards by staying on my diet is literally, you know, performing at my best for football, you know, performing at my best for football and looking good as well. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously nobody just wants to be a fat slob. So I think those are the main two. I think everyone wants to perform well and everyone wants to look good. Everyone wants to have, you know, that CR7 physique, that Mo Salah physique. You know what I'm saying? That Lewandowski physique. Obviously, it's not necessary as a footballer, but it's just a nice added bonus. You understand? But like I said, you want to perform well, and if you can look good as well, that's a bonus. Those are the desirable things that you're striving towards, that I'm personally striving towards. However, because I've been fat before, it's easy. That's an extra motivation because I'm running away from something, because I know what it's like to be fat. I know what it's like to have no confidence. I know what it's like to, you know, to have no clothes that fit you nice. I know what it's like to, you know, get no girl. No girls are looking at you and it's just horrid, fam. I know what it's like to, you know, get violated in school every single day because you're fat, and just thinking to yourself, oh, bruv, it's crazy. By people in my year, by people in older years as well. I remember we used to play football with, when we first went into year 7, we used to play football with like the year 10s to the year 11s, and all of a sudden I just what's it called? Let's say I tackle someone, or yeah, let's say I tackle someone. Certain guys would just look behind them and be like, "You fat shit, bro. What are you doing?" You know, just certain things like that, little comments like that, yeah, are what drive me. So I'm constantly running away from that. That's why I feel like I can never let myself slip in terms of, you know, my fitness and my diet, because I know what it's like to be fat. I think certain people can slip up because they don't know that feeling. They don't know that feeling of, you know, being the fat guy. So it's like they don't know, like I said, the bad thing. So they don't have that fear. Whereas me, I just have that fear of, you know, going back to that guy, being the fat guy. Like I said, having no confidence, getting no girls, um, play football, playing worse as well. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was a good technical player, just, you know, just little things like maybe I'd come up against a player who wasn't as good as me, but because they were faster than me in that midfield, it looked like they were better than me, where really they weren't. Really, technically, they were poor, to be honest. But because they could run up and down, it looked like they were dominating the game, and that was frustrating for me as a player as well, knowing that, yo, I'm way better than this guy. And it was always a thing of like, oh, imagine if I lost weight. Like if I lost weight, I'd be dominating these guys. So literally that, you know, being a fat footballer, you're always dreading, you know, fitness. Now if a coach says we're doing fitness, it's just like, all right, cool, we're doing fitness. But I remember before, bro, if you're the fat guy in your team and your coach says, yo, we're doing fitness today, you're sweating, you're nervous, bro. You're thinking, oh my days, it's like your whole world is collapsing, because it's like you just don't want to do any type of fitness. And it's not just, you know, any type of thing. I'm talking bleep tests, Cooper run, even if you're doing sprints with your team, like you don't want to do any suicide shuttle runs. You don't want to do any. You don't want to do any of that. As soon as you hear that, it's like you want to leave training immediately. Like it's crazy. So like I said, I feel like that's why it's easier for me to stay on my diet, because I have two types of motivators. Obviously, I have the motivation to, you know, have good function, be fit for football, be quick, be agile, and obviously look good as well. But I also have, you know, the bad thing that I'm running away from, because I've been that fat guy before. I know what comes with it, and I never want to experience that again. So that's the video. So literally always make sure you have two types of motivate: something desirable that you're running towards, and then something bad that you're running away from. Trust me, if you put those two together, that's how you get ultimate motivation. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. I've been JT, and I'm out.